another panel session up next, and it's a big one, and our panel discussion is going to be on choosing a niche for your marketing firm, the top 5 industries to focus on in 2023. Please welcome up moderator Neha Jain. She's the CEO of StartupFlux. Neha, please welcome Neha to the stage. And our panelists, Nikhil Pampatwar, Head of Research and Intelligence Verified Market Research. And please welcome our next panelist, Samina Chowdhury, Partner and Luxury Home Marketing Agent at Keller Williams Lucido Agency. Also, we have Daria, Yadernaya, Business Development Sales and Marketing VP at Frame Group. We have Amaan, Kazi, CEO of Verified Market Research. And we also have Adish, Ambore, CEO and founder of TIMSOTS. And those are our panelists. Please give them all a nice big welcome to the stage.
Hello and good morning, everyone. I am Neha Varma Jain, and I'm the CEO of VA Technology Labs, which is also known as StartupFlux. Basically, we are a digital marketing and IT development company based out of India. We have some great minds here and really excited to be here. This is my first time I'm moderating this panel and pretty excited for this topic. I would love the panel to introduce themselves and what exactly they are experts in their niche. So I'll start with Nikhil.
Thanks, Neha. So I'm Nikhil Pampatwar. I head the research and consulting vertical at Verified Market Research. We are a B2B marketing and consulting firm. We help our clients identify the best potential business that they can harness in future.
So hi everyone, I am Adish and I am the founder of TIMSOTS. It's a digital marketing agency from India. We basically build a strategies and do the competitor analysis and build a strategy for the clients. We are not niche barriers, so we work almost on all the niches, and that's it. Thank you.
My name is Daria Yadernaya. I'm a VP of Business Development, Sales and Marketing of Frame Group, and we specialize in niche markets. We started with fashion, luxury, and beauty and lifestyle brands. Now we do quite a few niches, some of them super specific, like hunting, for example. So we do kind of focus on consumer-driven market research and strategies for our clients in very specific niches. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Amaan Kazi, CEO of Verified Market Research, a B2B marketing and research company. We work on emerging and niche market research reports and consulting for clients across 14 different verticals. Yeah.
I'm Samina Chowdhury. I'm here from Maryland, USA, and I'm a real estate agent that market to a niche community in the US.
Thank you so much, panel. Just to start with the first question, and it's directed to everyone. Is it good for a marketing firm to position themselves to serve only one industry? Samina, do you?
When I first started, I've been a real estate agent for almost 2 decades now. And when I first started, I researched how many agents are just in my state. There are 12,000 agents. And I wanted to then see that, out of 12,000 agents, why would people select me as their agent to find them a home? What makes me stand out in the community or in the crowd? So what I then brainstormed was that, what makes me unique? I'm a first-generation immigrant to the US. And if you see, most US people come from diverse culture, and at some point, they're either first generation or second generation. I have been through the process. I understand the process because I've experienced it myself. So my one line, which I created, and that works for me, is that I take people's culture and heritage and tap it into and help them find a home that they don't have to compromise on that culture and heritage. It fits into today's American homes. So, because for immigrants who are first generation, they are coming to the US with a dream to make it big, and they have sacrificed a lot. They've left their family and friends behind, literally uprooted themselves to a new land. And they still have instilled inside them the culture and the heritage. And I'm just telling them that you don't need to compromise that. I'll fit it into today's American home. And people feel very comfortable with that.
Nikhil, do you have some comments on that?
Yes, certainly. I mean, there's a niche that everybody is trying to find in their day-to-day life and the business. And talking about that, there are possibilities where people try to excel and make sure that they're reaching the right targeted audience. And I come from a B2B marketing and consulting firm, so packaging industry is something that we generally deal with. And there are a lot of niches that we've identified, something like intelligent packaging. So intelligent packaging is basically connected packaging that is being observed, and there's a continuous feedback loop nowadays. Most of the players and operating in the industry are looking for to have a continuous feedback loop from their customers to understand how the product is performing. They want to collect data at every single point. So yes, I would say that's something that goes hand in hand, and the niches that we are planning to observe is again in line.
Thank you.
Yeah, if I might jump in. That was really inspiring. Now I'm thinking if I ever move to America, I already have my real estate agent. But really, I mean, if we talk marketing, marketing is all about the niches. Marketing is about being consumer-centric, feeling empathy for our customers, understanding them better. So you cannot do that if you don't really understand the niche. We can talk all the tools that we have, but it's all about ultimate application. So when we started in fashion and beauty, there were quite a few consulting companies in the market that did more or less the same market research, but they were mostly focused on oil, gas, transportation, on the hardware, solid industries, and we did fashion. Everybody's like, why would you want to do fashion back in 2007? And in my country, in Russia, where we started, was not even like a big thing at all because we're an oil and gas country. But ultimately, we could deliver to our consumers something that other companies could not. We did understand fashion consumers. We did understand how they behave, what they wanted, etc. And then we further on moved to understand that we need to have separate departments for separate industries, and they need to be really super consumer-centric. One of our latest projects, and I mentioned it, is about selling hunting tours to trophy hunters all around the world. How do you sell a trophy hunting tour if you don't understand what a hunter is? It's a completely different thing. So you have to have somebody who is a hunter, who understands what it is. You have to explore the territory. You have to be there for your client. And I think America right now is all about authenticity in terms of marketing, because customers right now, what they demand is that we are super authentic to them. So we don't manipulate them, rather than we try to deliver the true value. So you have to stand in their shoes to deliver the true value. So that's why right now I think everybody is about niches. Even big consulting companies and big marketing companies, they also think about niches. We are a little bit of privilege here because we started as a niche company. So we built brand in this area. Everybody like B2B in chemicals and real estate. Now everybody's doing the same. We just have the priority because we started there first. So we got there first.
Hi. Well, I would like to add some points over here. Still, I said we are not of niche barriers. The reason being, the market is completely uncertain. Today, before 2019, if you have seen, the hospitality industry was in a very boom. But soon after the pandemic happened, I think so OTAs has been took over by the hospitality industries. So being in the same niche won't, it might help you in the initial stage, but being in the same niche won't help you grow in much faster, because there are certain companies, startups, that are becoming unicorns. The reason they are becoming the unicorns because there are some marketers who are ready and available to help them out. If you are not able to reach those particular clients, then definitely one or the other way, there will be a certain gap for the business, for ourselves, as well as for the clients. So that's my thing to say is niche is not the one thing. If you're better in one marketing, the basic remains the same. Only you have to study some different, you can educate yourself as well as you can learn different things from the different varieties of varied niches and you can implement them.
Correct. I mean, to this I completely agree, but in a lot of ways, to be honest, in every business you need to kind of identify a certain set of like skills, a particular industry that you're extremely good at, and you can kind of leverage your expertise over there to be able to kind of gain more market traction. So for us, I'd say we initially, when we started off as just a marketing company, we were working exclusively with only technology brands, a lot of technology companies, software as a service, subscription companies as well. And from there, when we transitioned into becoming our own publisher, because while we were doing a lot of content marketing, we realized that there was this gap where we kind of needed to work with a lot of our clients, create the right sort of assets to be able to promote. And that's when we kind of created Verified Market Research, which now caters to about 13 different industries. We certainly believe that within these industries, we have our niche, we have our skill set in a certain particular industries, and that's where most of our clients come from. So I'd say even though we focus on about 13 different industries, 3 industries in particular stand out for us. So definitely, I think it is important to kind of have a niche, but at the same time, leverage your expertise as you grow to be able to cater to a larger audience. Yeah.
That's interesting, and I would like to add here, Adish, you rightly said, but how I work for my company is basically, picking up a niche, for example, medical coding, healthcare, and immigration. For me, that has been the biggest clients that I work with, and I'm able to pitch in more such clients because I know my strength, I know what my team is capable of, and I've been able to get those high-value customers, and since I know my strength, I've been able to get those high-value customers and work specifically in those industries. But yes, of course, we need to leverage for other sectors as well. So yeah, great. So what are some common mistakes that marketing firms make when choosing a niche, and how can these mistakes be avoided? Like, what do you think?
I think, in my opinion, people try to copy somebody else's authenticity. You got to be authentic in your own way. What makes you authentic and unique, not copy somebody's, because then what happens is that somebody is better than you. So you have to make yourself be the authentic person, be proud of who you are, be proud of the background you come from, and tap into that niche authenticity, because that's when your natural behavior will shine.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, I really couldn't agree more. But I also think like, just a useful thing to consider when you want to enter a certain niche. If you already see that this niche is trending right now or it's booming right now, you're probably too late. If it's trending right now, there are already too many companies. There is a leader, there is a challenger, and there are so many companies that are going to be, ultimately, it's going to be about the price. Because when there are so many companies, it's trending, the market's going to get overheated, so ultimately it's just about the price. It doesn't make sense to come into the market where it's just about the price. We're marketers, we know, price competition leads us nowhere. We have to be about the value, the customer service. You give more to the client for the same money, but you don't really want to give discounts and, undervalue what you're doing. So rather look for niches that are upcoming. So, something, it's not evident whether it's going to grow or not, and try and fit it into your expertise, whether you can do it or not. So 2 things, what you can do best and where you can apply yourself, and the markets that's not super saturated. I think the blue ocean, still there, quite a lot of them. So we just have to look for them rather than select something that's already somebody's thing. So you're going to be a copycat, so it's not going to be worth your while.
Adding a point over here, most marketing tendencies are like they overcommit. That is, will deliver the more than your previous marketing or previous the competitors. But the thing is, the clients directly judge you whether it's possible, whether it's feasible, because they are into the industry from past many decades over here. So they have much more experience than the marketing agencies. That what is the trend going on. So we cannot give a falsified commitments or to overcome it or to deliver something irrelevant data that could either jeopardize both the parties.
Nikhil, do you have some comments on that?
Yes,
What
certainly.
mistakes can we avoid?
No, you cannot be jack of all trades, and that's where even when we started as a B2B consulting firm, we identified, no, we cannot be all over the place helping all the clients from different industry verticals. So that's when we even identified our specific industry verticals, and again, packaging is one of them. So we learned over the over the time how things function in the packaging industry, what are the upcoming trends that are being observed. Like she mentioned that if something's trending, that's already there are a lot of companies you will be facing tough marketing from them, tough competition from them. So intelligent packaging is something that we've observed, and it's been in this packaging industry for a while, but a lot of people are not able to identify the potential for that. But while we are working with the major packaging giants, let's say Amcor, Bemis, SL Propack, they are keeping the focus in the intelligent and smart packaging, where they're trying to have the data points to be captured at every sales and the product that are being sold out. In fact, the NFC and the QR tags that are being predominantly used. So there are a couple of examples, like a leading tire manufacturing firm. They collaborated with Amcor, and they developed a tag, tire tag. So that helps them identify the live product tagging and the inventory location and the details about that. So that's how people and companies are trying to identify how they can plan their productions and overall supply chain management.
Right. Amaan, do you have something on that? No? Okay. This question is for Daria. How market research and data-driven marketing should evolve in the BNI world to tailor to the needs of our customers?
Yeah, that's really a cool question about research, because we all do research here, and now everybody's talking about how fast the world is evolving and how uncertain the times are. So the main critique to all the marketers is that by the time you guys are done with your research, the consumer has already changed their attitude or changed their pattern of behavior, because it takes us some time to collect the data, process it. Then we say, okay, this is what it is, but it's the past already, present at best, but the consumers are evolving faster than we are. And again, it's very good to be in the niche. That's yet another argument to be in the niche, because when you're in the niche, you can evolve together with your customers because you feel the pulse of the market. Normally, a consulting company that's very generic will have one project in one industry over a year. So I probably had a project with a restaurant, was like 5 years ago. Now I'm having this beauty brand, but then tomorrow I'm gonna have I don't know, a hospital. So they change all the time. So you don't really feel the vibe of the market because you don't really see the clients at all times. So it's just one market research. So you cannot really compare it and see how it's evolving. So that's another thing. I think that in the data-driven market, you absolutely have to be in the niche, because then you not only have the figures, but you also have the empathy to try and understand whether these figures are still what's happening right now, and more like look into the insights of what is happening, why this is happening, and whether this is still going to be happening. I mean, look at the lockdown. During the first lockdown, our consumers shopped in a way they never did again. We had the second lockdown, the third lockdown, the fourth lockdown. Every next lockdown, completely different behavior. So you cannot really use this data anymore. So we have to be up to this challenge, understanding, okay, we're data-driven, but how is this data really evolving and what's happening in reality in that black box of the consumer's mind. So when you're inside the industry, you're sort of part of the industry. So sometimes you feel things, and when having 10 projects in the same industry at the same time, you kind of know the vibe. We know what all of your competitors are thinking. I'm not going to tell you because I have signed the NDA, but I know what they're going to do. And knowing what they're going to do will help me select, the proper way for you, sort of.
Yeah, further adding to that, we've had a very interesting client that comes from a cosmetic background, is one of the leading player in US. So they came to us with a problem that they're facing a problem in terms of boosting their sales. So we helped them work out a strategy wherein we help identify that there's a product insert that they can start pitching out for each of their products that they are selling. So that the product insert basically helped them to connect to few of the tutorials, cosmetic tutorials from the leading players in the industry. So it helped them to engage the clients more. It helped their users to get the useful tips in terms of makeups and cosmetics, and that's buzzing around. So the conversion rate and of this whole process was probably around 30-35%, and in fact it helped the customer engagement on the client's website boost from 30 seconds to almost 7 minutes. So that was a huge impact and a boost that they observed in their sales.
Thank you. Samina, this question is for you. What new can we experience in 2023 that will drive or set the trend for the business around the world? What do you think?
I would say the niche market that you have, do target marketing with that, the niche market. Target market with showing the value constantly, consistently showing value to those target market, that what you have that the others cannot provide. And an example I can give is, I work with a lot of the clientele in the US who are from the South Asian community. And American, born and raised in America, cannot tell that customer that I know your culture better than you. Only I can say that. I know how they were raised in that household. I know that, when we have parties, we call 30, 40 people, not 3 or 4 people like the typical American does. I know that we need to think about parking before we even get into the house. And then comes the part of certain communities that tap into the Feng Shui or the Vastu market. If I understand that, and I know that for that client, either Feng Shui or Vastu is important for them, then I'm going to recognize every aspect of it when I'm showing the house. So that itself, marketing that value to this niche community and showing them that value will attract more customers, in my opinion.
And that's going to be the trend in 2023.
It's been working well in the sense for me that, that's how I authenticated my services. That's how I target marketed those people, and they just feel more comfortable coming and saying, okay, Samina understands this. We don't need to tell her or explain why certain things we need has to be done a certain way. It's just a sense of comfort that I'm giving it to them. And you also have to understand that these target markets are used to a certain level of service that they grew up in. And then they come to the US, and that's a very different level of service from what they grew up in. But to give them that service, what they're used to, is also, unique, in my opinion, to show them. Again, constant showing value, why you are unique in your own way.
Adish,
Yeah, I
you
would
want to add
like
something?
to add a point over here. Since I said that we have recently started working for the hospitality industry, in Pune, I guess we have met the owner of the Taj Vivanta. So there was a healthy discussion between us stating that prior to pandemic, we were charging XYZ amount of the amount for particular rooms. Being there more than 200 rooms, so it was hardly half filled every week. But yet we were making the profits. Soon after that, since the OTA came into the picture, and the pandemic happened, the prices dropped drastically to the 50%. Now the challenge coming over here is though our rooms are filled, 200, all 200 rooms are filled, but we are making the same profit. So how can we leverage a marketing strategy that can boost our revenue generation for the next year or what I would say, next financial year? So that is the challenges the hospitality industry is facing right now. And the similar way we are working for the US clients, they are into payment system. They are into finance system. They manufacture a Clover POS machines, like a swipe machine. So already in US market, there are more than 10 to 15 payment gateways and payment machine developers. So their challenge was they are the startup. Hardly they have started 3 years back in 2001 or 2019, I guess. Now their challenge is to set up their brand into the market. So for us, it is very different to understand the US market since we haven't worked for them. It's the first time that we are working for the US clients. So it becomes a challenge to understand what would be their mentality because compared to the Indians, their thinking method is very different. So likewise, we started learning a few different steps and we started understanding their industry particularly, where the payment gateways would be required, where the power machines would be required. And we started targeting those particular set of people who are into either restaurants, hospitality, or um, spas. So likewise, we started narrowing down the target audience. And yeah, we almost got them a 15% growth from past 2 quarters, I guess. So that was our experience with the US clients.
In my business, the other thing is that, referral business, okay, that is huge. I can proudly say today that 90% of my business today is referral based. People are so wowed with the service that they're like, oh, my uncle is moving, my so-and-so is moving, my friend is moving. They want them to experience the experience I gave them that is engraved in their head. That is what it, and even asking these people, because when they have freshly experienced this service that I've given, my target is to get a referral from every client before or at settlement. Okay, because it's fresh in their mind, the experience they've felt. And there's a way of even asking that referral, in my opinion, okay? So if you ask a person, do you know anyone who's looking to buy or sell a house? Do you have any friends and family? The initial thought will be either yes or no. And everybody in their brain, they have something called a reticular activator. It's like a radar, okay? So the goal is to wake up their reticular activator, okay? So instead of asking, do you know, it's who do you know? Who do you know that is looking to buy or sell in the near future, okay? Right at that moment, that person will not probably remember. But believe me, they call me a month later, they call me 2 weeks later, and they're like, remember you were asking? I found so-and-so. They are looking to buy. So you gotta wake up their reticular activator.
I agree completely that the value of the services that we provide has to be valued. And just before the fireside chat that we had, they mentioned about retaining customers. Right. I think that's what you're talking about
here. And if somebody's bought a house, imagine my service, for example. Somebody's bought a house. Why are they going to keep on calling me back? How do I retain them? So what I've done is, when you have a house, this house is like your baby, okay? You have to teach them how to take care of this house, right? So they need a plumber, they need an electrician, they need a carpenter, they need to renovate something. That's when I come into the picture again. And I tell them this, in the near future, you need to do any work, you need to fix anything, call me, I have the people for you. So I have one person who is a part of my team, and his only job is to, whenever a customer calls, that I need so and so. His job is to go to the house, understand the project. Then we have a whole Excel spreadsheet of all the contractors we work with or the vendors we work with, and get the estimate for that client instead of the client telling these contractors, and it's the typical contractor mentality. Why didn't you show up? Why are you charging so much? When are you finishing? I have completely eliminated all those issues from them, okay, by getting this concierge service for them. I get my person into the picture. He gets the estimate, understands when the work needs to be finished, delivers it on time. We're out of the picture again. But we come in and out all the time.
Yeah.
I think
Amaan.
a couple of things that you mentioned, for the industry that you're in, referral business is so important, and it's kind of, majority of, how you're transacting with your new clients.
Right.
Since our business is completely online, we work with, I'd say, most countries and most of the Fortune 5,000 companies across the globe. What typically that we've seen and the trend we're kind of seeing in 23 basically is there's a lot of, so initially we were dependent very heavily on referral traffics. We would kind of promote our brand content on other marketing platforms. Ever since COVID and now in 23, we believe that our business at the moment has kind of transitioned to a point where most of our traffic is completely organic, and that's going to drive growth in the business. So if you're essentially an online business and you're looking at long-term growth, you need to be able to focus on your organic traffic, and you need to be able to kind of capitalize on content in different forms, add value to whoever is kind of coming across your content in different ways. What we essentially do is we work on a lot of projects in terms of qualitative and quantitative research, right? And we see that a lot of people, while they're researching, they're going to go on Google, they're going to go on different platforms, they're going to kind of try to absorb different sort of information that's out there. And just for us to be able to add value in the right way, where if someone is trying to understand the market, of course, at the end of the day, what we do is we kind of publish market research reports, right? This is our IP. There's a lot of extensive research that goes in, costs associated with it. We can't give out our entire report just for free on the internet. But at the same time, we need to be able to explain to whoever is kind of looking at this information that the value that they are looking for is available in our reports. The value that the sort of answers that they would kind of like in their business, the challenges that they have, are those solutions offered? Are they getting the right sort of data, forecasts, insights into competitors in a particular industry, the right forecast for the next 10 years? And so essentially what we need to kind of do moving ahead is, a lot of businesses, of course, have moved online ever since COVID, right? And just kind of focus on the online presence, different ways of engaging with your potential customers. Initially we were speaking a lot about leads and CRMs, and I feel that at the end of the day, if you can get the customer to you, is when you're going to really be able to grow. And that is the shift that we're going to kind of see in 2023, where we need to now start focusing on how the customer can come to us, focus on our branding, focus on a lot on our content, focus on our online presence. Yeah.
Exactly, and then social media, for example.
Correct.
And if you do social media, the 2023 trend is, people they have very short span of attention, and you got to grab it. Somebody looking at Instagram or TikTok, they're scrolling, right? What is that one topic they're going to stop the scroll and look at it for even a few seconds? And people don't stop for 5 things you need to know. 5 things you need to avoid is what they're going to stop at. Don't do this when you're buying your first home. What not to do. Not what to do, but what not to do. So those are the action topics or the action words that actually stop the scroll and really get educating the people, making the process very easy and giving the service they want, consistently providing value. These are the things that you need to focus on for the 2023
Yeah.
market.
Just quickly, something I wanted to add to what Amaan said, because really this is what's happening right now, that we want a customer come to us. So from the marketing firm perspective, what we're doing, and this is already happening in the B2C market, we just need to implement that to our attitude to B2B. This is consumer co-creation. Like, the consumers want to find answers in those reports that they buy from Amaan. How do we ensure that they get the answers? We work with them together. We come to them and we ask them, guys, what kind of answers do you want? What do you want to know? Tell us about your business. I'm going to ask people out in the market about their businesses. I'm going to compile a report for you so you guys are going to get the perspective of what's happening in the market. So right now we're more, and I think this is another thing as for the niche businesses, that we are more focused on solving our customers' problems. Normally, why would people criticize marketing agencies? They say, okay, you guys talk a lot, but at the end of the day, what do we do with that information? So you provide us with tons of figures, this is gonna happen this, and blah, blah, blah. What do I do with that? How do I make money out of it? So what we're trying to do now, we're trying to engage with our consumers to implement the solutions that we're suggesting. So as a marketing company, we're not about, oh, we're gonna do your research, and this is take your research and go, good luck. We're actually gonna try and tell them, okay, this is what we're suggesting, we're gonna go and do it with you, up to the point that we charge them a result-based. So we don't really charge them for information as it is anymore, because information is available anywhere. You can find it. There's a lot of free content, really great quality free content published everywhere. So what we're doing, we're implementing what we suggest. So we go there, we're gonna be there for you. So it's the same as consumers in B2C expect today. They wanna be part of the communication, they wanna be part of the product creation, they wanna be part of the experience. So we need to do the same thing with our clients now. We need to include them in the process, in this co-creation of the value that they're going to deliver to their customers. So this is the biggest challenge of 2023, that, in the world of information, the information is essentially becoming, not that valuable, but we need to be really action-driven there for our customers.
Yeah, just to add to what Amaan said, that's what we do, like basically creating lead magnets for our clients, which are downloadable guides, something as a pain point of the customers. And coming to the next question on that, because content is playing a bigger role here, and I think that's what the trend is going to be for 2023. So how do we generate content at scale for a highly niche specific organization? What do you guys think? What kind of content and how do we generate it?
I mean, since we're talking content, and that's essentially kind of our way of engaging with our customers and, having them understand what we do. So when it comes to, for example, we're talking about a particular market, right? And in that market, we've kind of profiled various companies. We've provided forecasts to a particular industry, where it's headed. We need to be able to kind of put out different sort of content, not just in the form of content that's kind of going to just be consumed by reading, but also visualization. That's a lot that we're kind of focusing right now. A lot of people today read a lot of content, but at the end of the day, it has to be presented in some way. It has to be made sense of, right? For example, you're gonna read a lot of content and then kind of summarize that into just a chart which explains the entire content, which would have been a few pages. So where we as a company are kind of headed is focusing on adding value in the way where we can have our clients visualize that content. So providing KPIs and data in the form of short insights, which clients can kind of utilize in their presentations for investor pitches, for just board meetings and sales pitches. So adding value in forms where you feel that content is not just in the form of qualitative content, and moving to quantitative content in the form of content marketing is something that I'm certainly going to see in the coming year.
Adish, yeah.
Yeah, I would like to add a point over here. Certainly, the content is the one thing that brings the attention, right? And nowadays, be it a customer or a client, nobody has that much of time to read out the 2 pages or 3 pages. So everything should be crisp and short. And the second thing is, mostly people would say that automation could be the best possible thing in 2023. Since and too much automation won't lead to any benefits. So that should be something like that. A person comes to the content if he likes, definitely he definitely obtain. The sooner he obtains, he should get a confirmation mail or something like that, like we do in the hospitality industry. So this is what the trend would be in the 2023, wherein in a short, crisp manner, the person would be nurtured as well as could be converted as either a customer or a client.
Well, I like to differ a bit over here because automation won't have that sort of a personalized touch or an impact when we talk about content.
Yeah, automation is nothing but to nurture your client. The thing is, how would you nurture? For example, if he has came to your either social media platform or onto the content, the second step, what does he want to do? Whether he wants to reach out to you or how he wants to reach out to you. Then the third step comes is what is the customized message that you're planning to send him? That is, for example, if I say, thank you for visiting the page, what is the next step? Whether you want us to contact you, whether you want to reach out to us, whether you want a personalized package, something like that. So what happens once a person understands that, yeah, this is what is I require, and he reaches out to you. Definitely there's an automated system and a back AI. There are multiple tools out there for the automation. So with that, you can create a customized mailer that will be sent to that particular prospect. And sooner or later, either the team from your end or their end definitely will follow up in another 48 hours or 72 hours. That is how you create an automation in a market. But that should be customized and specifically designed to nurture the prospect.
I completely agree with that. And as a matter of fact, when it comes to content and trying to identify how custom we can make it, so we're trying to play with the affirmation things when it comes to clients. So the more affirmations that they get, okay, I know this is what I've read, and this is correct, and this is in line. So that somehow builds a thing in back of the mind that okay, this could be a go-to company or go-to person, and that could help me help me identify or solve my problem right then and there.
See, that's what I said. While, sorry, I'm just taking out from him. Uh, Nikhil, what happens is, first, when we are working with a client closely, we have to understand what are their challenges. The second thing is, since they are into the industry, they might have a lot of questions, either from the sales team, either from the pre-sales team. What kind of a justifiable answer you're providing understands when you're working closely with them as if you're working in that company itself. So you know what are the questions could be asked by the client or the prospects. So based on that, what of a nurturing personalized mail or personalized message should be given to the client. That is where the automation lies in.
I would like to add here, Adish. I understand what you're saying. So basically, what he's talking about is account-based marketing. That's ABM that even we use. That's one of the tool that's LinkedIn. So how we do it is we, like for example, I said that there's a specific niche, if immigration or medical coding, if I want to target that kind of audience, I come up with an entire list of that. I download this entire list, filter out if I want to reach the heads, the CEOs, or the decision makers of those companies. And then there is this personalized flow of messages that I draft. And now those messages, of course, has to be personalized and specific to the pain points of these customers. It cannot be generic, like an immigration or hospitality or a medical customer would have different pain points. So we come up with that, and where Amaan said that the guide or the content which needs to be very in a visual way or in a different format, that's what we do. That, okay, if the second message needs to go with a downloadable guide where he'll get all the information. So automation, yes, it plays a very important role, and I personally believe that, yes, that's going to be the trend in 2023. Your team, no matter you have like a 3-person sales team out there, it's going to be difficult to reach out to 100 customers, and with ABM and the automation which comes into picture, in a day I can reach out to 50 customers. And if I talk about conversion, even the reply rate of say to 7 to 8%, and where the reply rate where people are like, hey, I'm interested, or I would like to know more about your services, that, and then from that I can close at least 1% to 2% of my customers. So I think that's a good strategy for me as well. So yeah, that's going to play an important role in 23.
And I agree with you that the content more has to be visual, like video, rather than written. People are slowly, like, they prefer the visual content more. And as far as content, what they are looking for, I mean, hey, we have Google. That's the best way to find out what people are looking, what are the most popular questions they're asking, and just understand those questions, figure out the pain point, and do a quick video. It doesn't have to be more than 1 or 2 minutes.
Uh, okay, so can you discuss the role that personal passion and interest plays in choosing a niche for a marketing firm and how this can impact the success of the business? Daria, do you want to comment on this?
Well, I was kind of still, with the previous, with the previous topic. We need to always think about the context of the content consumption, because we say, okay, consumers don't want written context. Sometimes they do. If we talk about our clients, they want a written report. They want infographics, absolutely sure, but they do want the text. But what we're also working on right now, we're working a lot on audio, because video is very time consuming. Like, my contact would be the marketing director of a company or a marketing manager, a brand manager. They do not have time for this. They don't have time to read all this, tons of things we're throwing on them. But audio is something that they might be willing to listen while they're commuting to work, while they're walking on the treadmill and getting updates on the recent events and things like that. So what we do, we also design some audio podcasts on hot topics that are happening in marketing in our niches. We're interviewing people that might be of interest for them, who share their marketing expertise. So it's not about me promoting me and telling them, okay, hey, I know everything about everything. It's more about me telling them, okay, you know what? There is this super upcoming brand that Louis Vuitton bought last week. So we interviewed the guy and he told us about how he came there, what was happening. Do you want to know more about Chinese luxury market? There you go. I put in front of you some person who is an expert in this and we talk. This is easy to grasp. You can be multitasking, doing whatever. So we also need to think about the context of this consumption of information. So sometimes it should be video, sometimes it's just audio. When it's video, probably should have subtitles, because again, maybe they're watching in the office, so they're not actually listening to it, they're actually reading what's written there. So it's more, about that. And speaking of automatization, I think it's not the discussion of whether we should do it or not, because we have to do that. That's the challenge of the time. But the question is, it's like, speaking of artificial intelligence, which leads to your question, that artificial intelligence in marketing is like a unicorn. Everybody's talking about it, but nobody actually saw it work. I mean, we do have predictive analytics. This works. Artificial intelligence doesn't really work right now in marketing, because this doesn't have empathy. Artificial intelligence doesn't understand that the consumer changes, that the consumer is not logical, the consumer is emotional, So one day you're gonna get this low-fat cappuccino, but then you're gonna get a brownie, and the consumer will get Big Mac and French fries and then ask for a Coke Zero, which is completely logical for the customer, but completely not understandable, but things like that, and that 1 week before Christmas, you suddenly decided not to get this everyday donut because you looked at yourself in the mirror and figured out, okay, before Christmas is the right time to, say no. So this is a big challenge for us right now, thinking about content, that it should be something useful. You spoke about the attention span. That's so true. We're competing for the attention of our customers that's already very much in deficit. They work a lot. They want to spend quality time with their family, with their friends. They want to exercise. They want to travel. They want to know what's happening in the arts and culture division. So they're already busy as it is. So if I want to squeeze my bits of information, it should be useful for them. I should give them this infographics Amaan is talking about. It's like 10 seconds, I know what is happening. If I want to know more, I'm going to read. Thank you. If I don't, that's good. Audio podcast is like 10 minutes. You're driving to work, you listen. You pause it wherever you want. You can also fast forward it if you want to and listen it at 1.5 if you want. You can watch, So we have to think about more like the contexts where consumers are consuming. Our research shows that our customers, the time they have for us is 7 a.m. in the morning with my morning coffee or commuting to work. And then 5, 6 p.m. in the evening, which I'm going to the gym. So I'm warming up on the treadmill. So this is my 10 minutes of fame that I can squeeze from my consumer day. So I have to be as useful as I can in those 10 minutes. Not talking about myself. Nobody wants to hear about you. Nobody cares about you. Everybody cares about themselves. So we have to talk about them, their problems, what they're doing at work, what their customers are doing. So we have to, stand in their shoes and think, okay, this is what's bothering everybody right now. This is how I fix it. I give them some content which helps them at work. They come to this board of directors and they're smarty pants who know everything that's happening in the market, even though they didn't have time to scan through all those magazines and business media and everything. And they know what to say and they know what to comment. The new software is appearing and they know it now because they listen to me talk about this software with the guy who actually designed this software. Saving our consumers' time is the priority.
Thank you so much, Daria. And I think I will let the audience ask a few questions. Yeah.
Well, I think we might have time for just one or two because we've actually run out of time. So, and we are over time. And I've already said I am a stickler for time. So do we have one or two really quick questions from the audience at all? This is your time. You could be late to lunch. It's up to you. Anyone want to ask anything? Come up to the microphone. If not, I've got some awards to give out, which I know you guys are really excited about. In that case, thank you so much to all our panelists. Let's give them a wonderful round of applause. That was a great session. And we've got fabulous sessions coming up this afternoon as well, which is going to be there's some very, very exciting ones as well. And I'm going to be looking forward to the 7 presentation mistakes that people make. That's always something that's very, very interesting to me. So we are going to give out our awards in just a second. We've got quite a lot to get through as well, so I want to do them quite quickly.